Welcome back to the Saturdays in Norman podcast. Boomer Sooner.
You come to Oklahoma to beat Texas. I can't stand them. And anything they do, but when it comes to Texas, absolutely not. I can't stand them. No, just end of story.
Welcome back to the Saturdays in Norman podcast, where we break down anything and everything Oklahoma related. We got a big one this week. We're going against Ole Miss. Ole Miss is coming to town, coming to Norman. And, there's no denying it is a big game. Anything playoff related for both teams, man, it's a big one. This is one you want to win, especially with the upcoming schedule that, especially OU has for the rest of their schedule. Looking at Bama, looking at Tennessee, the schedule does not get easier from here on out. And do you want to start this last leg of games off with a win right here? And I think you have a good chance, man. I think you have a good chance, especially since the game is in Norman. It is going to be a little rainy. I don't know how big of a factor that will be or not. I'm bringing a poncho. I'm going to stay dry. Let's just hope that football stays a little dry. Only when we're on offense. When they're on offense, may the heavens just pour rain down. And, that would be best case scenario. All jokes aside here, I've got a few keys to the game for each team. I'm going to start off with Ole Miss. All right, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to let them start us off. Ways that Ole Miss can win this game. I think the most important is just to keep the momentum. Man, there's no denying, they have a really good offense. Now, where it can get scary is Ole Miss will be looking at a defense that they necessarily haven't seen. They played Georgia last week, who has had a terrible defense so far this year. And I think it's statistically proven OU has one of the best defenses this year in all of college football. You got to say they're top 5, whether you want to put them at 4 or 5 or top 3. Some people might even say number 1, but hey, there's no denying, man. If you're an offense, you don't want to go against that defense. So I think for them, obviously, you're not going to be able to score every time. You're going to have times where you go 3 and out. But I think if you can just limit those, where it doesn't happen 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, punt, whatever. I think maybe if you can mix in some field goals, maybe a touchdown here, touchdown there, then 3 and out, as long as it's not repeatedly bad for them, I think that momentum will heavily favor them. And along with that, I'll get to my second key. It kind of goes into this one, limiting turnovers. I guess going along the lines of momentum, turnovers are a killer. Especially if that turnover, say they throw it on our side of the field and we capitalize on that score. That's big. I mean, it seems like in this game, every score matters. Whether that's a field goal or a touchdown, it seems like any points are important. And I think it will be just, you don't want to cough up anything, is what I'm saying. You don't want to give OU the chance to get 3 points, 6 points, 7 points on the board, because that can be the game there, We're going to get into a third point here. Stretch the defense vertically. I think if you can really make OU's cornerbacks stay on their heels, really be aggressive, if you can make those young cornerbacks, I know we got Gentry Williams, who was hurt. I'll check I would assume he plays. I'll have to check it, but if you can really make a young corner and Cortland Guillory, the freshman, if you can make him work, if you can make him be honest, play good defense, I think you live with that. If OU beats you like that, I think you live with it. But I think you really just go at those guys, and I think you obviously want to stay away from that OU D line. Running the ball up the middle. Ask South Carolina. Does not go well. That did not go well for them. So yeah, I think just making OU be honest on defense, especially those cornerbacks, that might be the difference of the game there. Now for Oklahoma's keys to win, I'm going to bring in a good friend of mine, someone very closely related to the program, someone who might have a little bit of insight. Let's welcome Daniel Bailey to the podcast. All right, I'm here with my good pal Dan. Dan, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi there, I'm Dan Bailey. I cover OU sports.
Nice. So we were talking about this game against Ole Miss, this pretty big game, I guess one could say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Kind of covered some of the Ole Miss, what Ole Miss does have to win, have to do to win this weekend. And we thought we'd ask you if you could give us 3 main keys for OU to win this one.
For OU to win, I think it's simple. I think they got to win at the line of scrimmage, right? The run game has got to be good for them, and they also have to stop the run for Ole Miss. They're really, really good at the defensive line of scrimmage. They're really, really good at getting bodies in the middle and stopping runners. I think it's got to be the exact same for Lane Kiffin and a good offense. They got to stop the run. They got to make them pass. They got to limit the explosive plays too. OU on defense is only ever been shredded on explosive plays. So they got to make sure that they don't get them downfield. The defensive backs have got to cover well because this is going to be the best offense that I think that they'll see all year, or at least have seen to this point, maybe until Alabama. And I think they have to score. The Sooners have got to score. They've shown that they can play offense, but they have got to score multiple times. This is a pretty mediocre Ole Miss defense. Not a bad defense by any means. This is the SEC, but of all of the teams that they're playing, this is going to be one of the worst defenses. So I think that they've got to get in the end zone, whether that be on the ground or whether that be throwing it down the field. I know John Mateer had a broken thumb and he's been a little shaky, but he's going to have to air it out. So
how many points do you think they need?
Oof.
You think 24 points we can get away with the win, or you think we might need more?
Not against Lane Kiffin. I think we're going to need to score 30. I think 30 is because I think no matter how good OU's defense is, Lane Kiffin is an offensive-minded coach. I mean, so I think they're going to have to score 30. I think it's not going to be a shootout because I think Brent Venables is going to stop them early. But I think we're going to get tired. I think that second half it's going to be rainy. It's going to be cold. I think we're gonna really, 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 really have to lean on that offense, even though we haven't. So it's going to be the line of scrimmage, blocking and running, and finding the end zone no matter how we can. Maybe get some turnovers to give our guys some good field position. But I think we're gonna have to score 30 or more.
Absolutely. Score prediction?
Well, I'm never going to pick against the Sooners as long as I live, so give me OU 31, Ole Miss 25.
We would love to see it. Thank you, Dan, for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course, come back anytime. One more thing I do want to talk about here is the fact that Billy Napier from Florida was fired. I know we're not playing Florida, but you gotta think Florida might really want Lane Kiffin to be their coach. And I'm not saying Lane Kiffin has not paid attention to what he's supposed to be doing this week because of that, but I feel like it has to be said. There's no denying. Florida might want a guy like Lane Kiffin. Why would they not go knock on his door? Why would they not call his phone? Now I know we're getting kind of conspiracy here, but who knows, man? That Florida job's a big job. If Lane, maybe he didn't answer the phone this week, but I bet my top dollar he might hear them out at some point this season, maybe in the off season. But hey, it's college football. Anything and everything you can take advantage of, you do. And so if Lane Kiffin might be a little distracted because a big head coaching job just popped up, hey, we'll use that and we'll run with it. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Saturdays and Norman podcast. We will be back after the game on Saturday or early Sunday morning. Make sure you tune in. Thank you for watching. Boomer Sooner.